So let's just move on further toward the question number 7, which says that rationalize the denominator of the very first part, which is 1 by root 2, and the second part, which is 5 by square root 3 minus square root 5. So let's just start rationalizing the denominator of these rational numbers. So let us suppose I'm talking about rationalizing the very first, that is 1 by root 2. So we know that the meaning of the rationalization is actually we have to multiply a particular irrational number with the same irrational number in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So if we are rationalizing it, so we have to multiply root 2 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So it will be like 1 into root 2 into the numerator and root 2 into root 2 in the denominator. So we know that the meaning of root 2 into root 2 means taking the square root common, and 2 and 2 will get multiplied to each other, and we know that how to take a number outside the square root. If we have two numbers inside a square root, the answer will always result into 2 again. So it means that root 2 into root 2 is nothing but 2. So from this we can say that 1 into root 2 is nothing but root 2, and root 2 into root 2 is nothing but 2. So this is nothing but my answer. So the rationalization of the number 1 by root 2 is as simple as that, and the answer is nothing but root 2 by 2. So this is all about rationalization of such kind of a number. So let us suppose we are talking about the second part, which is nothing but 5 by square root 3 minus square root 5. Now we have to rationalize the denominator of this particular number, as we can see that there are irrational numbers which are lying in the denominator. So we have to multiply this particular irrational number with an irrational number having the sign opposite to it. Let us suppose I'm talking about rationalizing it. So we have to multiply a number or an irrational number which do have a different sign in between the two irrational numbers. So let if they have negative, so we have to take a number which do have a positive sign in between. So always remember, whenever we have such kind of an irrational numbers in the denominator, always multiply with such kind of an irrational number which do have the opposite sign. Let us suppose there is a positive, let us suppose there is a negative sign, so we have to multiply it with a number which do have a positive sign in between. And let us suppose the sign over here is positive, then we have to multiply or rationalize it with a number that do have a negative sign in it. So always remember, if we have a positive sign, then we do have to multiply the irrational numbers that do have a negative sign in between, and if they have a negative sign in between, then we have to multiply the rational numbers or the irrational numbers with those which do have a positive sign in between. So if there is a negative, then we do have to multiply it with the number that do have a positive sign in between. So further, in order to balance it, we have to multiply with the same number, that is square root 3 plus square root 5 in the numerator as well, so that we can balance this particular question. So it is nothing but 5 into root 3 plus root 5, so we can also write it in this particular formation, and in the denominator we have root 3 minus root 5 into root 3 plus root 5. So we can solve this further p by q formation, as we know that in the denominator we have a particular expression which is of the form a minus b, a plus b, and we know that a minus b into a plus b is an algebraic identity which results into a square minus b square. So using this particular algebraic identity, we can solve the denominator as we have 5 into root 3 plus root 5, and the denominator will be like, we can take a as root 3 and b as root 5. So this will result into a square minus b square. So the answer will be like a is nothing but root 3. So it will be like root 3 whole square minus b is nothing but root 5. So root 5 whole square. So when we will solve it, we get the answer as 5 into root 3 plus root 5, and the denominator is nothing but root 3's whole square. As we have discussed before, root 3 whole square means multiplying root 3 2 times, which mean having 3 into 3 under the same square root, and the answer will always result into 3. So root 5 whole square is nothing but 3 minus root 5 whole square is nothing but 5. So the answer is 5 root 3 plus root 5 divided by 3 minus 5 is nothing but minus of 2. So this is nothing but my answer. You can write it as well, minus 5 by 2 root 3 plus root 5, or you can either multiply 5 with this particular bracket, that is 5 root 3 plus 5 root 5. You can also write it in this particular form as well. So this is nothing but my answer. So the rationalization of the 5 root 3 minus root 5, or the rationalization of the denominator of this particular P by Q formation is nothing but minus of 5 by 2 root 3 plus root 5. I hope the whole concept of rationalizing the denominator of such kind of numbers is all clear to you.